Welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. It's Fiverr Friday. Yes, it is. It is Fiverr Friday. Today is July 17th. We are over halfway through the month, so I hope you're having a fantastic July. Today, we are going to be talking about some data that I've collected now from being a part of the pay-per-click program, if it's working, and what I think about it. And also, I've been having some questions come to me about, is the pay-per-click program actually helping, or is it hurting, or, what are my thoughts about it? And, should, top-rated sellers, for example, have access to the pay-per-click program, whereas, maybe some other, people who are not top-rated sellers, is there going to be, is there a problem, is there some maybe moral problem there as well? So we're going to dive into all of that. So it's exciting. So if you're new, I want to welcome you from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. If you get a chance, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like what you're seeing, share, make sure everybody gets to see this episode, and I'm very thankful for you being here and participating. Also, if this is your first time at Fiverr Friday, what this setup is I give you kind of a little speech, if you will, about some of the topic that we're talking about today. But the main focus of Fiverr Friday is also for you to ask questions, make comments, start a dialogue with me, so that we can hopefully help your business grow. Okay, so anyways, let's dive in. So we're talking about the pay-per-click program. I've been using pay-per-click for about 2 weeks now, and I set my daily budget to about $10, and it's I'm at around 50 cents or so per click. I'm just doing based on what is there, and so far it's not been bad. I've had a lot of clicks. When I say a lot of clicks, my clicks to impression ratio for the actual pay-per-click or the actual promotion is doing well. And the orders, I've had 2 orders in 2 weeks. So I want you to put that in perspective. I've had 2 orders in 2 weeks. For me, that's not good. I'm just laying it out there on the table for you. That's not good for me. Now, you could make the argument that, well, those are 2 orders that I wouldn't have had. And that's true, but I've also paid extra money for them now too. So, and by the way, this is my personal experience. Okay, so I know other people who are having great experiences from it. And also, in all fairness, I was doing great before the pay-per-click program, so I'm not worried about it personally. But from a data standpoint, that kind of tells me that it's not working for me as well as I want. Now, the thing with pay-per-click, right, is in this particular situation is it's also about your bidding process. How high do you bid? And maybe I'm not outbidding everybody, which makes sense. All I have done at this point now is set it to where they recommend that I put it. And that's where I've kept it, and if they go up a cent or two, I go up a cent or two. If they go down, I go down. I just keep it where they recommend me to keep it. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't way ahead of me. Okay, but I do notice that my stats from my actual gig that's not promoted, because by the way, they only let you promote like 1 or 2 gigs. Okay, and they tell you which ones to promote. You don't get to choose. So they came to me and they said, hey, you can promote this one, take it or leave it. So, of course, I'm doing it. And but it doesn't stop your gig from getting impressions without being promoted. So it's almost as if, the promotion is, which I like in a way, is separate from the gig itself, even though it's using that gig. So meaning that my gig, the same gig, right? You've got the promotion and then you've got the regular, the one that's not promoted. The one that's not promoted is still getting impressions, but it's getting a lot more impressions than the one that's actually promoted. Okay. But the question is it's getting these impressions plus these impressions. So that would be nice, right? Because I'm getting more impressions. So there is that aspect, but I'm still getting orders from the non-promoted gig than I am from the promoted gig. So, again, though, but I'm not pushing the limits on trying to outbid everyone because I don't know what the bids are. I'm just following what Fiverr is telling me to follow. So that's kind of what's happening with my pay-per-click, my promotional option. And, it's interesting. It does make me think that perhaps that gig itself, the thumbnail could not be converting as well. Or maybe the copy on that particular ad's not converting as well. These are really interesting things that you can, if you go into the actual thinking of the ad itself, maybe that's what's happening. But I do know that if it was at the top of the screen all of the time, it would sell more, as we all know. And it's not. So, I'm not too worried about it. But one of the other things I did want to talk about there's two things. One was why is Fiverr doing this anyways? So the idea here for Fiverr, and this is important, especially the last couple of days with all the talk about artificial intelligence. And if you're like me, you've been bombarded by people and artificial intelligence businesses sending us emails and ads. And I jokingly said, they haven't got their targeting right because they wouldn't be sending it to us. But at the same time, it's something to be aware of that these businesses, they are businesses out to make money. Okay, just like Fiverr and its publicly traded business. So just be aware that they are going to do whatever they can to make more profit, especially now since they have to actually answer to investors, right? So in this particular case, this is a way for them to make more profit. Now, on the last topic, and I approach this with I approach this kind of easily, and with the question that I received, and that kind of was a discussion on the Facebook group about should someone like me, who's a top-rated seller who doesn't need the pay-per-click program, be using the pay-per-click program where other people who could use it, need it more, use it. And I think it's a fair question, and, I'm not afraid to talk about it. I know for me, a big reason I want to use it is because I think, one, it's really a cool idea, and the ability to be able to see if paying for a certain spot on Fiverr actually works. So that's kind of cool. All right. So I don't have, an alternative, an alternative idea or reason for using the pay-per-click program other than, one, being able to give you data, and two, hopefully getting some more business for myself. I do like how, and this hopefully will answer that question, I do like how Fiverr has made it so no matter whether you're a top-rated seller, you're a level 2 seller, you're a level 1 seller, whatever, that you only have the option to promote what Fiverr tells you to promote, and it's usually 1 gig, right? So I like that. I think it would be unfair if Fiverr let everybody promote as many gigs as they wanted to, and the gig I'm promoting too. Fiverr didn't let me promote my main one. They let me promote one that was actually not very very active, so I have a gig who's not sold anything in like a couple months, and they're like, yeah, promote that one. I'm like, okay, right. They didn't let me promote my main gig, which is fine. So, I think it's one of those situations where that does help. I think it does make things a lot more equal across the board, that, it's being regulated by Fiverr in a manner in which that, you can only do one, and, you are in a bidding process. So I do think that that's kind of cool too. So, oh, thank you. So I hope that, that helps from that standpoint. But at the same time, I do know that, we are all competing and we're all trying to get more business. And I hope that this program does help some people, but I will tell you that I'm actually feeling better about the program from the standpoint of I don't think it's going to disrupt the normal the normal progression of people on Fiverr that we were talking about a couple months ago, right? That we were concerned that it might, like how many slots was it going to take up? So we found out, right, it takes up the first 2 slots. But if you're like me, every time you look, you can tell that they're not always there either. So they're not always promoting too. Because if you know there's a promotion there, because it will say promoted or ad on the actual thumbnail. And every time I go, I hardly never see a promoted or ad there. So you can tell that it's not always being promoted. And you have to think too, it could be on different platforms. Like what if they're only promoting it on mobile devices, or that we don't know that. So, it's an interesting thing to keep paying attention to, but I don't think that we should be too worried about it anymore that we were in the beginning. I think the only thing that that does hiccup is when they do all these changes, it takes us time to get the everything running smoothly again. It's nice to have the stats back, but I think that's also been helpful, but they've changed it. By the way, they did re-add in the revenue, so you can see the revenue of your particular gig that you did. If you go to your gigs and you scroll over, you take your mouse and you hover over the amount of orders that you've had on that gig, it will actually show you the revenue, the total revenue overall for that gig. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, so this would be a great time if you've got questions, comments, go ahead, post them into the chat bar, and I would love to answer them and hopefully help you out. I think that many people I've heard slow down a little bit. You got to think too, we're in July. The summertime is traditionally a little bit slower. I would make a recommendation for everybody watching. Think about, what is it? July, we're halfway through July, August, September, October. We're only a few months away from Halloween, and I am seeing more and more people. I'm getting Halloween jobs. I'm getting more character jobs again. It's already starting to pick up. So if you don't have a Halloween a gig up or something, this would be a great opportunity for you to put up there. And by the way, this is not just... I think this is interesting, but this is not just about Fiverr, even though this is Fiverr Friday. But when we're talking in general, you've got to think about, it's not just Fiverr. If you're just out there trying to promote yourself and get business, you shouldn't just think about, I'm just going to promote one demo. I'm just going to promote voiceover services. Promote these things like we're talking about, promote holiday gigs, promote, you promote a specific, real estate drone videos, promote more specific things, because people might be looking for something very specific. Now, I will use this example with full knowledge that, we're most likely not going to have this at this particular time in our country. But I used to do, especially during this time, I used to do a lot of voiceovers actually for marching bands, right, for the football season. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be doing many of those, but I used to do, that they play when they're doing their big, performance or whatever the marching band does. I used to do that for those, and you can have a gig for that. Here, another thing is, and again, I don't know about this, but I used to do, especially more now too, was voiceovers for panic rooms. Right? Panic rooms need voiceovers and stuff like that. And that was a lot of fun. Right? So these are things that you can promote, not just on Fiverr, but everywhere. All right. And it's a neat thing. But I like the way Fiverr works, because if you look in a cyclical nature, there is different times of the year with holidays and all this kinds of things. So this might be something that, you could look at doing, but most definitely look into putting something up for Halloween. Okay. It's important, I think, that you get something up for that. All right, well, let's go ahead and check out the board. We got voiceover Angela. Hello, Angela. We've got Jeremy. What's up, my man? Good to have you. We've got Dana. Hi, Dana. We've got Flyer here, which is Eric. What's up, my man? We got Don. What's up, Don? Happy Friday. We've got Facebook user Anthony. Good to see you, sir. Hello. We've got Tom. What's up, my man? Oscar. Hello. Nice lid, dude, from Facebook user. Thank you. Let's see. Hey, Jeremy. Oh, that's Angela. BDoggy45. What's up? Dave G. This is awesome insight. Awesome, man. I'm happy that helps. Frank, it's good to have you. Happy Friday, Anthony. I took your advice as I'm going on vacation, and I will put my gigs on vacation mode. But for some reason, I can't change my amount of days for delivery. Do you know why that is? Frank, I do not know why you can't change the amount of days for delivery. You should be able to do that in the editing section when it comes to your pricing. Under your pricing, you should be able to change how many days it takes for you to do that. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. If it's a glitch with Fiverr and you've tried to change the days and you hit save and it won't save, you need to contact support as soon as possible. You know what I mean? But I don't know if it was you. Were you the one who mentioned that in the group? Because someone else in the group said they couldn't change their prices. I don't know if that was someone else in the Facebook group earlier today, and I told them to contact support too. So if that's the case and people are seeing some stuff, because I haven't tried to change anything today, so I don't know, there might be a little glitch going on. So I would recommend, Frank, you contact customer support immediately. Let's see. Voiceover Angela, thanks for the reminder. I got to get my Halloween gig up. Yes, you do, Angela. Get the gig going. Let's see. Facebook here. Thanks for the info, bro. So who's the Facebook user? I can't see your name. I can only see Facebook user. Put your name in there so I can see it. Let's see. Zach. What's up, Zach? How you doing, my friend? Okay, so any questions or anything else that you might have, we can kind of dive into, because I know for the Halloween gig, I think this could be helpful. You might be like, okay, well, Halloween gig, what do I do for Halloween? Well, first things you want to do is you want to try to create a gig where you manipulate your voice in some way. Like I do a pirate, I'm like, it's a pirate. Thank you for showing up, right? Like I like a pirate, or, I can be like, like an evil, scary voice or something like that. Or you can do like, it's the devil, so I don't know. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can manipulate your voice in that way, or you can also use, yes, creepy witch and ghoul voices. You can also use things like, your DAW and dive into playing around with pitch variation, background, echoes, that kind of things. And it's a lot of fun. Okay. So, that's something that you could look into doing as well. All right, so let's see. Somebody had a question for me. Okay, thank you. How do you handle BDoggy45? How do you handle when someone is critical about your performance after delivering a gig? Okay, cool. So, I'm now BDoggy45. I'm assuming you mean they've left a review or some time and it's not very good. I have a firm policy, and I live by this policy no matter what. No matter what. If someone leaves a review that is sometimes not fine, or now we're talking about reviews. I'm going to get into the back and forth in a second. But if I'm dealing with a customer who leaves a critical review, and it's a review, and maybe they've given me 4 stars instead of 5, I always, no matter what, I thank them for working with me. And just tell them how much I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to working with them in the future. Always. I never engage in an issue, okay? Because if you engage in an issue, and I've seen this a lot, all right? This happens where someone says something unkind about your performance, and then, we fire right back at them and say something. Here's the thing. It's on there for everyone else to see. And people can accept negative reviews. They can accept people not having a good time. But when you, as the proprietor, as the business owner, fire back, it makes you look like you don't care about your customer. Okay? So the customer because remember, it's not about you, it's about them. And then I talk about this too in my coaching. Remember, it's about the customer, not us. We're there to make them the stars. So they're going to go into that situation looking at that review as if they're looking like from their point of view. Is this what's going to happen to me if I have a bad experience? They're going to go off on me. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to work with them, as opposed to a bad experience and you saying, hey, I'm so sorry this happened. You know what I mean? Next time we're going to make sure everything, turns out absolutely, better. And thank you so much again for working with me. We're working on fixing it. Thank you. Like, that is so much better than me saying, well, you didn't tell me what you were going to do, what you said, and I did everything you wanted, but, you're the one who has the problem, not me. Like, this is different, right? I mean, now, if that was the review, if you're talking about someone being critical about your performance before it's done. I approach it the same way, but I try to find a solution to helping me get more to what they're looking for. So, perfect example. Don't focus on the negative. Focus on the solution. Don't take it personal. Focus on the solution. So for me, what I usually do, my go-to is, thank you so much. Sorry, this wasn't exactly what you were looking for. Would you happen to have a video reference or a link to a video that you like that could give me a little bit more insight to what you're looking for? That helps every single time. Or a recording. Or I say, could you possibly make a recording? You know what I mean? And you could just use your phone and send it through Fiverr so that I can understand what you're looking for. Does that make sense? It really does help me to get that. So I let the customer know. And I have never had a customer come back. This is honest. And I've done thousands of voiceovers. I've never had a customer come back and say, no, I won't do that. They want you to get it right. So they'll send me a video. They'll do a recording. And every time they do, I'm like, great. In our defense, you and me, it's usually never what they actually asked for in the first place, but that's okay. We have to be aware of that. You know what I mean? They might just not know what they're asking for either, but they can verbalize it. We can hear it. They can show us a video. And every time I do that and I get that, it always turns out perfectly because then I know what they're looking for. Does that make sense? So I always try to handle critical situations with understanding. All right, letting them know, look, I'm happy you're working with me. I want to get this right for you. I don't say, you're right, I suck. Now, I don't ever do that, or I'm new. Don't tell people you're new. Okay, don't give people a reason to think you're doing something wrong. We just haven't gotten the same page yet. All right. Now, I am a firm believer about that. I don't believe in telling people that you're no good. I'm no good. I'm not good at this. I'm trying. Don't do that. Just tell them, absolutely, we're going to work this out. If you can send me a link, I'll do another take for you. Or this, you know what I'm saying? I hope that helps. That's at least my personal beliefs. But I never attack someone for attacking me. I never try to attack people in general. I think when we get our egos involved, it's just downhill from there. When we get our emotions involved, it's downhill from there. We can't think critical. We can't think positive. So that's just my thought on that. Hopefully that helps. That was a lot of an answer. Okay. Thank you, BDoggy45. I really appreciate it. The question. Mark says, could you tell a little bit more about the Halloween idea? Doing spooky voices is a real specialty, and my evil laugh is on my character resume under special skills. But how would I set up the gig? So you can, the wonderful thing about Fiverr, right, is gigs are titles. So, you know what I mean? I will record a spooky Halloween voiceover for you, something like that. Do you know what I mean? And then underneath, when you put your demo and your samples up, right, you can, you could even start out and be like, welcome to my scary demo. Today we're going to talk about, oh, you know what? We have a special guest. And then, that's right, I'm a special guest, and I'm here to get, you can do all kinds of stuff. Have fun. You can tell I love screwing around and having fun too. So you could do that in your sample, and then underneath in your description, you can actually then build out, hey, specialties. If you need a spooky laugh, you know what I mean? Go to, and then what would be really cool if you said, hey, if you want to hear my spooky laugh, go to 34 seconds in on my demo above, and in my video, and listen to that. And if you like that too, I can actually do specialty laughs for you. Because if you're doing that, you could, and if you just want to do laughs, actually say, I will record a spooky Halloween laugh. You know what I mean? You could title it that way and build it all out and do all kinds of different laughs. That'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because you could do like, or you could do all kinds of laughs, I make myself, I'm an idiot. I know, but you know what? It's fun to be an idiot sometimes, right? Sometimes we have to be, and why not be paid for it? Anyways, you got me, Mark. You got me off topic there, but hopefully you have fun with it. Have fun, man. It's so much fun to do this stuff, I think. So let's see. Facebook user Adam Thornton. Oh, thank you, Adam. Creepy Witch of Ghoul Voices. Greetings from Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach. That's awesome. Let's see. You can vary your pitch and sound effects. Yep, absolutely. Oh, you beat me. Jeremy says, some this just comes natural. Yeah, I'm a natural goofball. So if you are not naturally that dumb as me or silly as me, then you got to work at being as dumb as me. No, you can work on those voices. But a lot of times, like for example, I remember when I was trying to do the voice from It, you know what I mean? And that was, I think I was like, hello, Georgie. Like, that kind of stuff is kind of freaky. You can work on that. I mean, clearly you can work on those things and go through it, and then, or like Bane's voice from Batman. I really enjoyed doing that, but that's also learning how to use your DAW, right? I've got a pretty cool Bane's voice, but most of that is from the DAW. So anyways, it's just some fun that you can have, and you can look around the internet and find some cool ways to do stuff too. So let's see. Fiverr is scary enough. I wasn't sure whether to let it pass or apologize. Oh, it's funny. Let's see. DAG posting headliner samples to Instagram as a post, not necessarily IGTV. Workaround. So remember, you don't have to post. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Posting headliner samples to Instagram as a post, not necessarily IGTV. Workaround. So remember, you can't, Instagram only allows a minute or under for a post, and then it goes further for IGTV, right? So if you want to I suggest you do both, right? You post it on Instagram, the shorter ones of the post, and then you post them on IGTV. I would recommend you do both. Oh, how do you post them? Well, so you download the MP4 file. You download the MP4 file, and you can do it two ways. First way, you can download the MP4 file and send it, via email or Google Drive or whatever. Get it on your phone and upload it that way. Or the second way, which I love, is that Facebook, and maybe I should do a tutorial about this at some time. I will do a tutorial on this at some point. I'll do a video. But Facebook has the Creator Studio, and you can link on your computer. It has your Facebook page. Now you need a business page for this, all right? But you should have a business page or business account for your Instagram, anyways. But you can link your Instagram account and post to IGTV, post to your posts right on your computer from the Creator Studio. It's amazing. It's so simple. You do everything on your computer beautifully like it was meant to be without doing any fancy switching around coding to make it look like your phone and stuff. I know I did a video on that a while back. But it's called Creator Studios, Facebook Creator Studio. Check it out. And you can link your Instagram account. Okay, so let's see. That makes sense. Posting headline. Let's see. Oh my God, your creepy laugh is awesome. Thank you. Only you would think it was awesome, so thank you. You're awesome. Awesome creepy laugh. Oh, thank you guys. Tales from the Crypt. You remember that? He was like, yeah, I remember. I used to watch that when I was younger. It freaked me out. From Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the VO's Journey Crypt. Yeah, that's cool. I have no choice. I'm naturally an idiot. David said, I should not have taken a drink right before you left. Or David, I'm running out screaming, oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? Okay, Facebook user says, I had a client who wanted a PSA done. I did it as a PSA read, done in 55 seconds, as that's about how long it took to read. They didn't like the read. They wanted it slower and actually sent me audio of how it should be read. I copied the pace beats of the read, and it turned into a 2-minute PSA. Did I like it? No, but they paid for the read, and I was happy to deliver that to them as they were happy with the results. Absolutely. You know what? Like, you perfectly articulated things that happen to me all the time. That happens to me all the time. And sometimes I will, at this point in my career, sometimes I will speak up and I'll be like, I'll type to them. I'll say, hey, listen, totally okay with doing this, but I personally feel like this is not what your copy is relaying. The words the way you want it said doesn't feel right for what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes they're like, oh, why don't you, maybe you're right. And other times they're like, well, we just want it this way. You know what I mean? So sometimes I do that, but that's very rare. But I do that like if it's really opposite. But this happens a lot to me too, so totally understand what you mean. All right, Dave G says, how do I post headliner samples on Instagram? All right, and I know it's just time of that. All right, you guys. Well, hey, listen, thank you so much. I appreciate you sticking by. If you didn't get a chance in the beginning, please hit the subscribe button, like, share, leave a comment afterwards too. I really appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't done so, we have an amazing group called Fiverr Elite, and it is a weekly group where we meet on Saturday mornings, like we have one tomorrow morning, and we get together, and it's over a Zoom meeting. And now, we use stats, we use analytics to grow our businesses. We do reviews of people's accounts. There's a massive archive of videos from previous sessions and all kinds of stuff. So it's really awesome. So if you're interested in joining that, we'd love to have you to help grow your business on Fiverr. There'll be a link below and YouTube, or also you can go to a VO's Journey website and check that out. All right, you guys. Yes, and I will see the people here who are in Fiverr Elite. See you tomorrow. And hopefully if you're not and you're thinking about joining, I'll see you tomorrow too. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. Goodbye. Goodbye.